Nashville.
The suit is in the building.
Acknowledge me.
Are you ready? Ready? This is Chase McCabe on Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday. We've made it to the weekend. The weather is gorgeous out there. Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. Brandon back there. Everybody having a good time today. What's up, Nick?
Howdy. I mean, waking up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed around 4 a.m., feeling great. I don't know why I woke up so early.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you usually wake up at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, I mean, my brain is just all wonky, but yeah, I like waking up early. I try to get an exercise in before I do things, so yeah.
I'm gonna instill some wisdom with you as you get older. And I mean, like, I'm in my mid-30s. I don't consider myself old, but you know, your body changes, and so for me, I get up at around 4 a.m. because I have to pee.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
well, hey, that's great words of wisdom, because tomorrow is I'll be turning 25. So
tomorrow's your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nick Frazier, ladies and gentlemen. Wish him a happy birthday today as we go out throughout the show. 615-737-1025. That is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. A lot to get into because the Titans obviously wrapped up their joint practices with the Minnesota Vikings. They will play them in preseason game number 2. Who all is going to play at quarterback? That is kind of a question that we'll try to answer today. Nashville SC hosting the Leagues Cup final against Inter Miami and Lionel Messi at Geodis Park. You could basically sell your house to get a ticket, from what I understand. Your car probably won't get it done at this point, but we will talk about all of that. And then one of my favorite things, high school football has officially begun. There were some games last night, and then tonight is the full slate. I even think there's some games tomorrow. So we will talk some high school football as well. But, you know, starting things off with the Titans, and I noticed this, and Teron brought it up this morning and yesterday afternoon, and then I noticed it when I was listening to Mike Vrabel, that he's been a little more forthcoming when it comes to injuries. Because used to, like, if a guy got hurt and you're like, hey, you know, you could sit there and go, hey, we just saw his leg get twisted around his head. Could you tell us how he's doing? Yeah, we don't talk about that. You know what I mean? Basically pull the Belichick. And it's like, okay, well, we clearly saw it, so, you know, we know something was going on. But he did provide an update on Treylon Burks, and, you know, the reports are that it's certainly not what everybody thought it was going to be. It's a sprained LCL. That's according to reports. Vrabel didn't say that, but here was his update on Burks.
Any update on Treylon?
No, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. There's no structural damage, and, you know, anticipating him, you know, being back. You know, again, I'm not putting a timeline on it, but I think that it was a best-case scenario.
Okay, so he says he's not putting a timeline on it, and I'm fine with that. I actually think that's a smart move, because if you say, hey, he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks, you get to that 2-week window, he's going to be asked every day, hey, is Treylon close to coming back? Is Treylon close to coming back? And he'll, you know, just drive you nuts because he'll get in a bad mood and it'll drive him nuts and all those things. So I get it. Don't put a timeline on it. That's fine. But I think it was good that he was a little more forthcoming on that and calling it best case scenario. And that, I mean, that's what we were saying yesterday, that the fact that there's no tear and there's no structural damage, you know, he could hypothetically be back for the season opener against the Saints, or at worst, maybe week 2. I mean, I'd take that all day long.
Would you rather have him sit out week 1? If
he's not 100%, yes.
Okay.
Like I can get by in week 1 if he's not 100%. I would rather get that thing where it's like a doctor looks at it, goes, "Yep, he's cool. No chance of re-injury." You know, that's what I want to hear. Teron Davenport, Titans NFL Nation reporter from ESPN, was on Robbie and Rex Road earlier today and brought that up with Vrabel in the best case scenario, and also gave an update on Burks.
Like, if you really want to look at an LCL sprain and say best case scenario, that could be like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, how literally should we take that?
Yeah, I think what he said, and usually he doesn't really talk about injuries. He did say his standard, not going to put a timeline on it, and the report is 3 to 4 weeks. But I think when you use the word best case scenario, you use the word relieved. I think those are the type of things to make you have a positive outlook on what it was. I mean, look, I remember back in I think it was '97. Jerry Rice, right? He had a similar type of fall. He came right down on that knee, and he, dislocated kneecap and ACL, and it was a bunch of stuff. So that could have been the case. They just had a sprained LCL in this, so I think it is something to look at. Hey, look, that is a best-case scenario. He's going to get hurt. The injury happened, but it wasn't as bad to where it cost him the full year, and he's going to rehab, and I would imagine they expect him back before the season opener.
So there you go. So Tehran says that they could expect him back before the season opener, which would be fantastic if that is the case. If that, if he can come back. But again, as I said, I don't want them to force him back in there if he's truly not ready, and that's where you're going to need somebody in this receiving corps to step up and kind of try their best to fill those shoes while he's out. I mean, that's easier said than done, right, Nick?
Yeah, filling the shoes of a top-tier wide receiver like Traylon Burks. I mean, yes, there's still so much to prove from him, but just what he did this past offseason and in training camp, what he has shown, it's going to be tough to fill the shoes like that.
Yeah, so hopefully that, it's a quick recovery. Vrabel did go on to say that he is still with the team. He did not come back to Nashville yet. I don't know if that, if he'll stay for the game or come back and start rehabbing or what the plan is there. But he did say yesterday that he was with the team. And so that, I think that's good for morale. The fact that it's a best case scenario, that he's not going to miss significant amount of time and he's around his teammates, that is certainly going to, to be good for morale. Vrabel went on to discuss how Burks has just handled the whole situation.
You get really close with these players. I don't know if you got to speak to him, but how is he handling this situation?
Well, I think relieved. I think when you, again, have that type of thing and you feel something and you just, I think, relieved and, we'll rehab him and I know he'll work hard to get back, and when he's ready to come back out, he'll help us.
And he will, and they need him to. They need him to come out and be the guy that they drafted in the first round when they traded A.J. Brown and be that 1-2 punch with DeAndre Hopkins. And if that's the case, then my thing is, like, in watching the last 2 days or reading reports of the last 2 days and seeing some clips and everything and then talking to people that have been there. Gentry Estes is going to join us at 10:30, so we will talk to him. He has been there. But putting that together with the fact that the defense, this looks like it's going to be a top-tier defense in the National Football League. You said it yesterday. You think they're going to be the best defense?
Elite. They'll be elite. Top 5 in every category.
Yeah. And so, I mean, look, I think that's very much possible. If that's the case, and then the offense can be competent and put up 3 touchdowns a game, I think that they're going to be right there in contention for the division and winning some games.
Yeah, I like those tough games like a Cincinnati or a Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City, you may not hold them to 2 touchdowns or maybe Cincinnati, but if you can hold them to about 3 touchdowns in those 2 games, the Titans' defense will definitely pick up the slack, and it will get to the point where this defense will be, I don't want to say taking over the show, but yeah, they will be kind of, taking the limelight away from the offense for the most part.
Well, and the good news is you wouldn't have to worry about Kansas City until the playoffs. Cincinnati's the only team, the only elite team, I would say, that you have to worry about in the regular season, and it's going to be here.
Right.
So that, because you're playing a second-place schedule, toughest games are Cincinnati, Baltimore and London, at Pittsburgh, I think is going to be a tough one.
Denver as well, right?
The who?
Denver?
No, I don't have Denver. At Miami could be a tough one, and then the Jacksonville games. But Seattle's kind of a wild card. I don't really know what Seattle is on Christmas Eve. So like we have been saying, the schedule is definitely favorable to the Titans, and that's why you need to have that 1-2 punch. The scary part is, and this should be really scary, is while I like the defense, I think they can be an elite defense, they're not very deep. And so if you get some key injuries, then you're kind of screwed. And same goes for the offense. I mean, we're seeing it right now with receiver. Like, okay, I feel pretty good about DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks. Oh, Burks gets hurt. Now what? So it's the depth that worries me, and that's where it's going to be a process with Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel to replenish that depth as they go along. Speaking of, we've been talking about 3 quarterbacks. Well, it looks like one might be hurt. What does that mean for preseason? What does that mean for Saturday against Minnesota? We'll discuss that coming up next. You can weigh in on anything that we're talking about, 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Join 1025 and 1063 The Game at Door Jam tomorrow, celebrating Vanderbilt sports at the David Williams Recreation Center. The fun kicks off at 2, and will include autograph sessions, photo booths, and lawn games, and also a live version of the Commodore Hour. Head out there and support Vanderbilt Athletics as fall sports returns in just a few weeks. Here on 1025, 1063 The Game.
We are Nashville's best sports talk, live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. When you want the national
Hey. I got this. I'll take it from here.
Okay, go ahead. Dying to hear this.
We have the best national voices that you'll find anywhere.
Who was more deserving of being thrown from their game?
I'm odd, so I get the odd picks.
They have a new coaching staff.
It's not a bad scenario for them.
We are 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
And 94.9 The Fan.
All right, let's talk Superbook sports because football season is here, and now is the time to place your preseason bets with Superbook here in Tennessee. They are the most trusted name in Vegas, and now you can use the promo code CHASE, my name, CHASE, to score up to $250 with their first bet bonus. Win or lose, they will match your first bet up to $250 simply by using the promo code CHASE. Who knew it could be that easy? Will Tennessee win the division this year? Who is your pick for MVP, and which team will win it all in February? Don't sit on the sidelines. Win money this season with Superbook Sports. Just download the Superbook Tennessee app or visit superbook.com to place your wager today. Football, a $250 first bet, and the Chase promo code will make you do your own touchdown dance with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
Genesis Diamond's most extreme value on diamonds is coming to an end. You have until Sunday at 5 p.m. to get the price of a lifetime on a certified GIA diamond ring.
Response has been incredible. People have driven for hours to buy like a dealer buys. All GIA certified diamond rings are on sale. A full 20% discount off Genesis' amazing everyday value price.
We're talking values you never thought possible. From a half carat to 20 carat diamonds, all hand-picked for maximum brilliance and all graded by the most prestigious gem lab in the world.
Don't be surprised to see jewelry store owners and diamond dealers shopping alongside you.
Genesis has the largest GIA diamond selection you've ever seen. Rounds, ovals, radiance, cushion cuts, pear shapes, emerald cuts, princess cuts.
And now through Sunday, you can take advantage of this rare buying opportunity. Limit one per customer, please.
Get the Genesis no middleman direct importer price minus an extra 20% on all GIA diamond engagement rings. Now through Sunday only at Genesis Diamonds.
Green Hills and Cool Springs.
See store for details.
It's time to celebrate this fall and unleash the beast. Monster Brewing proudly presents to you Beast Unleashed. 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, all the adult beverage fun. The Beast is unleashed with great taste, bold familiar flavors, and 6% alcohol. Go wild with Mean Green, White Haze, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries. Don't fear the Beast. Enjoy Beast Unleashed at your next tailgate or football party. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 and over.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's gonna fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
all the big plays.
And we are done. Vandy 24-21.
All the big stories.
I'm sure Vandy will be a much better team if Clark Lee is the coach.
All in one place. We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3.
What a stop by UC Sarah.
Then he wouldn't end up on my team.
Driving his way to victory lane.
I think that's the right strategy.
The Game and the Game Nashville app. This is Chase McCabe.
Good to meet you. You know why it's good to meet me? Because I'm smart and I'm right.
On 102.5 and 106.3, The Game.
If Will isn't able to go Saturday, is Ryan maybe going to get some work, or will it be Malik the whole way?
We'll let you guys know on Saturday.
There you go, Mike Vrabel. That's the old school Vrabel. Yeah, we'll let you know. Will you, though? Do you really want to?
Nah.
Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. Nick Frazier hanging out as well. We'll talk to Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver, at the bottom of the hour. And so, yes, Will Levis did leave practice yesterday. He went inside, and Vrabel acknowledged that. And so if he can't go on Saturday, is it going to be the Malik Willis show? Now, I was texting TD this morning because I understand that they want to get Malik Willis and Will Levis as many reps as possible in camp. I get that, 100%. But if you know you're not going to play Ryan Tannehill in the preseason, why would you not bring in a fourth quarterback to be that camp quarterback that everybody knows he has no shot of making the team and he's going to get cut and he's probably not even going to be on the practice squad at this point, but you bring in a fourth guy? Because right now, if Will Levis can't play at all, then Malik Willis is the only quarterback and you don't even have a backup. So are you going to designate somebody to be the emergency quarterback as the backup? Or are you going to dress Ryan Tannehill to be the backup? Like, what are you going to do? Is Mike Vrabel going to call Tom Brady and say, hey, Tom, you want to come back up Malik Willis for a preseason game? Come out of retirement and help me out? Do me a solid? Like, like what are they going to do? Like, this is – I've been thinking about this since yesterday of, like, I'm sure they have a plan that they're not going to share with us until they absolutely have to, but this is kind of where they're at right now. But Teron Davenport, again, was on Robbie and Rex Road this morning, gave an update on Will Levis.
From what I understand, it's a lower body injury. I don't have any specifics on what it was. Paul Kaharski had first found that out, and then I was able to confirm it. And they're basically going to see if he could go on Saturday. And if he can't, it looks like it's going to be the Malik Willis show. And this is a great opportunity for Willis to show that he could just have the operation of a full game down pat. There was a little bit of an issue yesterday in the 1 minute period where, you know, he has to remember, you know, how things work after a dead ball foul. You know what I mean? So you got to remember that the clock starts on the ready, and you know, you can't get to delay a game like he did last Saturday. So Willis, for me, you know, it's just an opportunity just to show the operation. But obviously, he has to go out there and make some plays, and I think he could do that. And just being able to get into a full rhythm, I think will be really good as opposed to rotating series.
So last year when we saw Malik Willis in the preseason, we saw him improve from game 1 to game 2 to game 3. You could tell that he was taking the coaching and applying that. So I kind of feel like that's going to be the case here. And in some ways for him and his development, if he does have to play the whole game, I think that's good too, because you're getting him a full game to get film on. At the same time, you know, when we sit here and we have this conversation of a quarterback competition for the backup spot, to me, it's already been leaning Malik Willis. I think he's been the better one of the two in training camp. And if Levis can't even play tomorrow, then I'm not going to say that it's over, but I'm going to say that the likelihood of Will Levis starting third on the depth chart at the beginning of the season is looking more and more likely, because Malik Willis has outplayed him, and the fact that he's going to get a full game and Levis can't even go. So that, to me, is the most up, and, you know, probably won't play, but just to have that that safety blanket. Now they'd have to make a corresponding roster move. I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of go into that. Or if Levis, it's like, okay, he can dress. If he has to go in, he can. He probably shouldn't go in, but we'll probably find that out, before the game tomorrow. But, even yesterday and the day before, we were seeing Malik Willis get more reps than Will Levis. In fact, Mike Vrabel actually discussed that when asked about Levis's reps.
Hasn't looked like Will has gotten a lot of opportunity out here. Like just kind of situations being that number 3 guy. How difficult is it to?
Well, he got the same amount of reps as Malik up until the 2-minute. I did 2-minute over here yesterday. So while Malik was going, Will did that, and the plans were to have him go today. But they took him in, and we'll see where he's at for the game on Saturday.
So that's kind of his update there. But I feel like they've been leaning towards Willis right now because, again, like I said, he's been playing better. And so if that continues to be the case, I'm not – now, let me say this and listen to this, people, because there's going to be some of you that if the depth chart comes out and number 8 is 3rd on it, everybody's going to freak out and go, oh, it's a busted pick. They traded up. Oh, no, what do we do? Come on. In the words of Aaron Rodgers, relax. It's his rookie year, and it's fine. He doesn't have to be the backup right now. I would not worry about that one iota if he doesn't get the backup job. In fact, I think it could be better for him at points because he can stand there and he can learn and he can watch, and that is okay. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over Will Levis not even being the backup.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I would rather it's just me speaking, but I would rather him start on the injury reserve list so he doesn't play at all this year and just bring in a 3rd quarterback and let him sit back.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that, but, I think getting practice reps and things like that would be good. So I don't necessarily want to see him on IR, but
does that mean he can't practice, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
If he's on IR, he's
redacted
gone.
statement.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So like I don't want any PUP or IR or anything like that. But if he's 3rd on the depth chart, then let him practice and get reps when he can, and let Willis be the backup. So that's kind of how I feel. Let's go to the phone 615-737-1025 if you want to call or text. Cameron says, "Do we really think Burks will ever be the guy at this point? He has shown no evidence of that on the field, and he's constantly out hurt." I think it's a small sample size based on 1 year, and people keep going back to he's always hurt. The injuries are, just bad luck, I think. I mean, the concussion he got, he was making a incredible catch and scored a touchdown and got a concussion. I mean, that he was making a play. So to me, that kind of contradicts your statement, Cameron, because on a play in which he was injured, I mean, I think he was showing why he can be the guy because he's willing to go in and make a play like that. Again, it's flashes. I need to see it all put together, but I still think it's too early to really write him off, one way or the other. Now, if this year he misses half the games because of injury, and then the games that he does play, he's not really showing you a whole lot, then okay, then that's a different conversation. But I'm not ready to have that conversation yet.
Yeah, I mean, you've been at training camp over at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. You know what Treylon Burks looks like from last year to this year. I mean, there's a complete difference, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he looks bigger. He looks more confident. I think he looks the part right now. Wes in Clarksville, if Levis can't play, does Malik play the whole game? I mean, I would say so. I think that's probably going to be the plan. Unnamed texter, how worried are you about the offensive line, and how is Andre Dillard doing? I don't hear his name much in camp. I feel like if he was doing good, we would hear it, and if I do hear it, it's because he's getting whipped. Yes, I'm worried about the offensive line. I'm going to continue to be worried about the offensive line until I see otherwise in an actual game. We've talked about Dillard quite a bit on this show, and I've heard it on other shows too, because I think he is the focal point because he's the left tackle. The left tackle is the most important position on the offensive line in terms of protecting the quarterback. And I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been great. I think he's been okay. I think that's probably the best way for me to put it right now. So time will tell on that. Another texter, the lack of depth on the Titans goes back to the failures of J-Rob. I mean, I do think there's some truth to that. Think about this. And I was thinking about this the other day. You talk about the offensive line. If Isaiah Wilson, which is a late first-round pick, but still a first-round pick who played 4 snaps and now isn't even in the league, that's a monumental bust. But if that hits and he's serviceable, he's on this team right now. So Dylan Radins, a second-round pick, is hurt, but when we've seen him play, he sucks. That's a miss. If that hits, he's on the, and not hurt. I mean, that's 2 key pieces of your offensive line. So I agree with that. I think J-Rob had a lot of good things, and then he had some misses that they're currently paying for. So I think that's totally fair.
Not to mention Caleb Farley as well.
Caleb Farley is a big one. Justin and Greenbrier, happy birthday, Nick Frazier. So depth is the name of the game. I'm thankful Burke's injury happened now, and hopefully he doesn't get any more. If this team can shake the dreaded injury bug, how good can they be with the defense and a serviceable offense? I mean, I said it to start the show, Justin. I think that if they can put all that together and the offense can be serviceable, like you said, and this defense can be elite or close to elite, then I think they have a chance to win this division and potentially win some games in the playoffs. I'm not ready to say Super Bowl by any means. I mean, the offense is going to have to surprise us. If the defense is elite or close to elite and the offense goes from to better than good, then we could be having a different conversation. Yeah. But I got to see that. They got a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is it. If the defense can carry the offense for majority of the season and you can somehow keep DeAndre Hopkins and when Traylon Burks comes back, keep both of those guys healthy on offense, and they can go somewhat deep, possibly past the second round in the playoffs, then that's a successful season in my opinion. So wouldn't go that far into the realm of possibility, but that's where I'm looking at.
Indy Ben, who always has to weigh in, LOL at Carthon passing on Levis in round 1 and then taking a flyer on him in round 2 and saying they fully believe he's their future. He won't see the field until at least 2025, as I expect Tannehill back as the starter in 2024 if Vrabel doesn't want to rebuild with Levis. Well, I will say this, Indy Ben. Carthon didn't draft Will Levis without Mike Vrabel's blessing. That was a collaboration. So I think that you gotta keep that in mind. I do agree that I think there's a chance Tannehill could be back. I wouldn't be shocked either way by that, but we will see. We'll ask Chris Sanders, Forever Titans wide receiver, when he joins us. Coming up next, get his thoughts on Traylon Burks, Will Levis, and everything going on with joint practices and the second preseason game. That's here on Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Green right, Fox 2 run, double catch.
He takes you inside the huddle through the eyes of a quarterback.
Wide 85, tight.
Catch ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck every Tuesday at noon as he breaks down the big stories in the NFL.
Buffalo, maybe Miami.
And with the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans might be like, we're interested in a 1-year, $1 million contract.
Tim Hasselbeck is on Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
The Sounds take the field tonight at 6:35 against the Charlotte Knights. Kick your weekend off relaxing with Sounds Baseball. Gates open at 5:30, but stick around for the whole game to enjoy a post-game fireworks show. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Visit Coleman Tractor, your local Kubota dealer in Clarksville, Nashville, Paris, and White House today. It's time to let your voice be heard. Nashville is headed to a runoff in the mayoral race on Thursday, September 14th. Stand up and be counted. Cromwell Media reminds you to get out and vote for the future of our city.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Hey, do you need to listen on the go? Download the Game Nashville app from your app store today, and you can listen to us anywhere in the world. It's that simple. What an age we live in.
Chase McCabe on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Hey, it's John Tesh. You want to know how to get better rates, better coverage, and better service on your home and auto insurance? Work with Zander Insurance. I know it's a big promise, but this team delivers. They've been around for almost 100 years and have earned the privilege of representing dozens of insurance companies so they can shop, compare, and find you the best options available. More options mean more savings, and in many cases, better coverage. But it doesn't stop there. Each year, they review your coverage to make sure your rates stay competitive. Nobody else does that. And when it comes to service, just check out their ratings. Zander is one of the top agencies in the industry, and they earned that spot with their commitment to making sure their clients are taken care of like family. That's what sets them apart. Go to Zander.com for quick online quotes or call 800-356-1780 for that personal touch that you've been missing.
Chase McCabe is on.
I am not that guy you think I was.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
You're a regular Rip Van Winkle, aren't you? What have you been doing inside my
mind? Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chris Sanders joins us now. Lionel Richie.
Oh, man.
81 in your programs. Number 1 in your hearts. What's up, Chris?
How you doing, Chase, man? It's a great day to be alive. We got Friday Night Football. The Titans are playing Minnesota. I'm on with my friend Chase. Let's go, baby.
I am excited. I am excited. You know, before we get started, I was thinking about this because we were getting you on the phone, and I yelled, "What up, 81?" So does number 81 for NBA? Does he get like his own locker room? Does he get a special chair? Like, what's the treatment of wearing 81?
Hey, if you get 81, you get your own seat, just like you have your own couch. You have snacks up at the top. You get Gatorade. You have Coca-Cola. That's the perks of getting number 81. So absolutely, that's why you should get 81.
I love it. Hey, let's start with number 16, Traylon Burks for the Titans. Best case scenario, according to Mike Vrabel, the reports are it's a sprained LCL, so no structural damage. And it looks like he's only going to miss a few weeks. I know some people have been texting us and saying they're worried. Okay, he gets hurt a lot. To me, I mean, this is just it's a part of football. Yeah. But how can he overcome this and continue to hopefully have a great season?
I mean, I think he can because that's just kind of go back to, when he first came in the league, he came in out of shape and, he came in and he got hurt and he overcame the adversity. So now you got a situation that's a little different to where he got hurt and he has to face adversity. But I think it's going to make him stronger. It's going to make him hungry. And I think that, he's going to come out better than he was before because, you really root for this kid because he came in with the back against his wall and everybody was kind of disappointed when he came in. But I think now everybody gained the trust in him because the way he worked, the way he, practiced, the way he gained the trust of his quarterback and his teammates. So even though it's a setback, it's a setup for something great. So I think he's going to come back stronger.
I do too. And I just feel like the mental part of it, that's the tough part because it's like now it's in your head of, man, I got another setback. And so how would you coach the mental part of this?
You know, the mental part of it is I would surround myself with people that can help me through when I have those tough times. Because a lot of times we look at the outward part to where when he's getting an interview and he's smiling and laughing, but you need people around you when nobody's looking at you, when the lights are not on. To where like Mike Vrabel or Rand Carthon or Hopkins or some of the receivers can call him and say, "Hey man, I know you're going through rehab. I know you're going through a tough time, but just to let you know, I'm here for you." Because the thing about it is, he can't do this by himself. Because a lot of times when we go through situations or setbacks or something that holds us back, or we go through a trial of tribulations, the one thing we do is we try to isolate ourselves, and that's where mentally we get in trouble. So what you want to do is, what Trillian Burks needs to do is surround himself with his wife, surround himself with his parents, surround himself with people that are going to encourage him in those dark times.
Chris Sanders is with us, forever Titans wide receiver. And speaking of wide receivers, now is an opportunity for somebody else to step up.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it the last few days, Chris, that I like what Reggie Roberson has been doing. You know, I like Kyrus Jackson, what he's been doing in training camp. But nobody has reached up and grabbed that proverbial brass ring and run with it. And that's what I'm waiting for. To me, this is an opportunity for somebody to do that.
Oh, absolutely, because the thing is you definitely want to show up on film, because if you look at last week, we really didn't pass the ball that much. There really wasn't that much explosive plays. But I agree with you, Chase, that this is a perfect opportunity for a guy to go out and make plays. Just like you said, you got Roberson, you got NWI, you got Ray McMahon, you have Kyle Phillips, you have Chris Moore. But it's just guys that are lumped together that are just making plays. But which guy's going to make that special play? Which guy's going to take a slant, take a hitch, or do something that makes you go like, wow, that's what's going to separate for you being in that third position or that fourth position, or even actually you making the team.
If I'm ranking the receivers right now, and I want you to tell me if you agree with this or not.
Okay.
If I'm doing my ranking, obviously Hopkins and Burks,
True.
1, 2, in whatever order you want to put them in. So you can put them to the side. I'd go Phillips.
Yep.
I'd go Moore.
Ooh.
I would go Roberson.
Ooh.
And then by an eyelash, I'd go NWI.
Yeah. Ooh, that's. I love the list. Just like you said, I like the first two is Burks, Hopkins. But my third would be Phillips. But this is just my opinion. I may be biased. I would go Roberson fourth.
Okay.
And the reason why I say Roberson fourth is because he has so much upside. He's still young. Chris Moore has been in the league for a couple of years, and he's played solid, but it hasn't really been spectacular. I look at Reggie Roberson and the things that he's doing. I mean, he's been consistent from day one. This year, when I say this year, day one. I know last year he had a setback with his knee, but he looks explosive. He's making the plays. He's not making mistakes. And he has the potential to make that play downfield and take the top off the defense. When he was at SMU, when he played with my son CJ said, "Man, Daddy, he's one of the best receivers that I've been around." And when CJ said that, I'm listening. So I got Reggie Roberson fourth, and then I got fifth. I got Chris Moore, and then I got sixth. I got Ray McMahon. No, I'm sorry, Harrison, and then Ray McMahon.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, they have, Trayshawn Harrison, like you mentioned, Gavin Holmes, Kyrus Jackson. They have a good problem right now. But like I said, one of these guys has to step up. Will Levis leaves practice yesterday, and Vrabel was mum on whether he'd be able to go Saturday or not. He was asked, okay, well, if he can't go, does that mean we could see Tannehill? I think it's going to be the Malik Willis show on Saturday.
Yep.
And that's his opportunity to grab that backup job.
I think it is outstanding. I mean, I'm not saying outstanding that Will Levis got hurt, but I think it's a great opportunity for Malik Willis to get reps, to get experience. Because if you look at last year, Willis didn't have enough time to get experience to get into the game. Because last year when they played the Kansas City Chiefs, he was thrown into the fire, so he didn't have experience with reps. He didn't have experience with understanding the coverages with the defense. He didn't have that opportunity. This is a great opportunity for him to get a lot of experience, how to lead a team, how to do a 2-minute drill, how to set the front when the safety's blitzing, how to get hit in the mouth and come back and make an explosive plays. Those are the things that I want to see. And if you look at last week, which I'm so pumped up about, even though he made some mistakes, even though he made a couple of wrong reads, he looked like a different quarterback. He looked poised. He looked confident. He was throwing the ball where the ball should have been. So now he's got a whole game to prove to Rand Carthon, to prove to Mike Vrabel, to prove to Charles London, the quarterback coach, that if Ryan Tannehill goes down, you can trust me. So that's why I love this situation that's going on right now.
Chris, would you consider it a setback if Levis is third on the depth chart to start the season, or does that really matter at this point?
I don't think it really matters, and this is my opinion. I may be wrong, but I think Will Levis is playing better than I don't know.
Malik Willis?
Yeah, Malik Willis. Malik Willis. No, I'm sorry. Malik Willis is playing better than Levis. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I think he's playing better. I really do, and I'm not saying that to be biased or anything, but just looking at how Will Levis came back from last year. I keep saying Will Levis. Malik Willis played last year to now. He looks like a totally different person. Then now you got Levis that's playing okay. He's playing consistent in time, but then the next practice he throws 3 interceptions. I think Malik Willis is playing better.
I do too, and so I'm curious to see it. If Willis gets the whole game tomorrow, how that looks.
Right. Yeah.
Chris Sanders is with us. The defense really showed out against Minnesota. And Nick Frazier behind the glass has said he thinks they can be elite this year, top 5 in every category. What about you?
I absolutely believe this. I mean, you look at last year, their defense was already good. You had Simmons, you had Archer, you got Weaver, but then now you added a guy that brings so much energy. It's Arden Key. I mean, I know everybody talks about Simmons being the leader of that defense, but just looking at the defense and surveying what's going on, I think Arden Key is the leader of that defense. He brings energy, he brings a tenacity, he brings a sense of funness, and he's coachable. So when you have that type of defense, you have that type of front, a team that's fast, physical, and all those things that you want in the defense, I'm not just saying they'd be a top 5 defense. In my opinion, if this front plays like they've been playing, I think they could be the number 1 defense in the league. That's just my opinion.
Well, and so if they are and the offense is serviceable, where do you think that can take the Titans?
Man, I think it can take them far. I mean, I may not say Super Bowl, but I think that they'll go deep into the playoffs because if you look at 1999 when we went to the Super Bowl, our defense was flat out nasty. We had Josh Evans, we had a lot of leaders on that defense, and if you look at that, our offense wasn't the best in the league. But we always talk about that defense wins championships. So even though our offense wasn't playing well, even though we struggled at times, our defense consistently kept us in the game. That's the same thing with the Tennessee Titans. They may not score 30 points a game, but if their defense are getting takeovers, their defense are getting strip sacks, if their defense is putting the offense in position with a short field to make some plays, I think you got a recipe for success because your defense is playing so well.
And I 100% agree with you. The only thing that I'm worried about is it kind of similar to what happened to you guys in '99. Marcus Robertson got hurt, Blaine got knocked out in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's the depth. And that's what I'm worried about when it comes to the Titans in this defense is the depth.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is the depth because the thing about it is you look at last year when different guys were down with Simmons, the defense kind of struggled. But then you got a secondary that, we're not deep in that area. I mean, I know we got Byard, I know we got McCrary, I know we got Christian Fulton, I know we go guys like that. But what if one of those guys can get hurt? Who do you have? That's the scary part. I agree with you 100%, Chase. It's the depth of the defense, not the quality of the defense.
Chris, there is a crisp in the air. It's supposed to be nice tonight. On West End, NBA, Pearl Cone, high school football is here. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a really good game.
It is, man. I mean, we got a great team coming in. We play them every year, which is Pearl Cone. Coach Benetti's a fine coach in this city. It's going to be a barn burner. They're fast, they're physical, they're strong. They got the fastest speed in America. But just like Ray Charles, man, we got to make it do what it do, baby. We got to go out there, play football, have fun, and just enjoy the atmosphere. I'm telling you something, man. I don't know if y'all can kind of feel what I'm feeling right now. I am so stinking excited. I'm tired of camp. I'm tired of 2 days. I'm tired of drinking Gatorade. I'm tired of all that stuff. Let's go play the game, baby.
It's going to be awesome, and your rival Brentwood Academy hosts CPA tomorrow, which I think is going to be a good game. So
no, the game of the week is Lipscomb and IMG.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is going to be a good one too. So there's a lot on the schedule tonight and tomorrow as high school football officially kicks off. Chris, good luck tonight with the Big Red. Thanks so much for doing this. We'll talk next week.
I always love you, bro. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya. Chris Sanders. Forever Titans wide receiver, number 81 in your programs, but number 1 in your hearts. Always enjoy talking to him. He joins us every Friday at 9:30. Speaking of high school football, we'll highlight some big games on the schedule coming up next. Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Here we go, in and out of the huddle.
Training camp is underway in the Music City.
We want to try to make sure that we're developing a team.
And we have you covered.
Could Peter Skoronsky be an option at tackle?
How quickly can DeAndre Hopkins get going? We'll be broadcasting live from training camp with the latest news and storylines from practice.
Ryan Tannehill in the last year of a contract. It's a different team. It's a different roster.
Training camp coverage is brought to you by the Simmons Bank Open, Caudle Vet Clinic, and Parman Energy on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. It is finally here. Nashville Stampede Days all this weekend at Bridgestone Arena. And Justin McBride, the head coach of the Nashville Stampede, is on the line with us now. And Justin, coming home seems to cure a lot of things. How excited are you to be at Bridgestone Arena?
Man, I'm really excited. It's going to be great for the boys, for the whole team to get inside Bridgestone and to have the support. It's going to be huge for them.
So I know that one thing we've talked about is health, and there was a possibility of some guys being ready to go this weekend. Are you going to have anybody back?
Nope, we're not going to. It's going to be a couple of more weeks, which stinks, but at the same time, some of these young guys, some of the new guys have really been improving a lot every week. And so I'm excited for them to get this chance, because I'm telling you right now, there is not another event like Nashville. And I'm really excited for them to have the opportunity to get to ride in front of a home crowd like that and have the support that they're going to there. It's going to be an amazing moment for them.
I know a lot of people that are planning to go and go to a PBR event for the first time. So for those that have never been to an event before or never seen the team series before, what's something they can expect?
They can expect some action. I mean, it's going to be bordering on the line of out of control at times, and you're going to see guys that are giving everything they got to represent their team. That's really what I'm so excited about, is when you take something, a combat sport like bull riding, and you put that many people in one place cheering for a group of guys, those guys can find something more. You know, they can find things that they didn't even know they had within themselves to get the job done.
Well, it's going to be an awesome event this weekend, 3 nights at Bridgestone Arena, and I know there's a lot of other things going on around the area in conjunction with the Nashville Stampede and the PBR. Justin, have fun this weekend. Good luck, and we'll talk soon.
Chase, thank you, brother.
Justin McBride, head coach of the Nashville Stampede Days at Bridgestone Arena all this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can get your tickets, PBR.com, Ticketmaster.com, or the Bridgestone Arena box office.
Willy Donick here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. The official brand perception report for doors and windows is in. Pella Windows and Doors are the leading brand among all others. A few reasons why. Pella is regarded as the highest quality, the most innovative, and the installers with Pella of Nashville lead the way for attention to detail. That's why Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is one of Pella's top locations in the country. For new doors or windows, I suggest you choose the experts at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Go to PellaNashville.com.
It's time to let your voice be heard. Nashville is headed to a runoff in the mayoral race on Thursday, September 14th. Stand up and be counted. Cromwell Media reminds you to get out and vote for the future of our city.
Nashville Sounds Baseball lives on 94.9 The Fan. Catch every pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Every hit.
That's a base hit.
Every run.
Looking up, it's gone.
On your home for Sounds Baseball. 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app.
The suit is in the building. Chase McCabe on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. High school football is here. We're broadcasting live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. And hey, you know what else? We are your racing station. 102.5, 106.3 The Game is your home for NASCAR. Tune in this Sunday for the Go Bowling at the Glen at 3 p.m. NASCAR 102.5, 106.3 The Game, presented by O'Charlie's, the road course up there in New York. as the Cup Series will be there. But high school football tonight, and a ton of games going on around our area. And, if you have nothing to do tonight, looking for something, go support your local high school. I heard Rex Rowe talking about Nolensville. That's obviously his area, the Nolensville Knights, and supporting them. So for the young men that are going out there and suiting up tonight, this is the best time of your life. Enjoy it. Nick, I know you remember those times and what it was like, and for the seniors doing this for the last year, and for many, this is it, and you won't put the helmet on again. This is just enjoy it and be safe and have fun. But I think it's going to be a tremendous season of high school football. I mean, obviously, you look at a team like Oakland that continues their dynasty. I was on Fox 17 last night talking about it, and I think it's fitting that they're the Patriots because they're a dynasty, and what Kevin Creasy has done there. I mean, he took over basically a dynasty, and he's been able to continue it, which that is not an easy thing to do. So they've done an awesome job there in Rutherford County. I think Lipscomb is going to be an interesting one because Trent Dilfer builds that thing to a championship caliber program, and then he leaves to go to UAB. Now Kevin Mawai, former Titan, takes over as the head coach. Can he continue that? Because, again, that's not easy to do. Chris mentioned it. Lipscomb at IMG is going to be an interesting one. But you got Brentwood at Blackman tonight. I'm kind of excited about that one. I think Williamson County, Rutherford County, always fun to see that. Franklin Centennial, that'll be another good one. You got Green Hill going to Clarksville Northeast. Green Hill is still a relatively new program there in the Mount Juliet area.
Battle of Franklin Road, Overton and Father Ryan.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Overton and Father Ryan. Now the other team on Franklin Road Academy, hosting Kenwood tonight up on the hill. So my alma mater looking to get it done against Kenwood. They have a new coach in Justin Geisinger, so that'll be interesting. You mentioned Overton Father Ryan. DCA at Ezel Harding is another one. Fairview on the road against East Hickman. Should be a good one. Nashville Christian at Davidson Academy. That's another good one out of the private schools.
Alcoa versus Ravenwood.
Yeah.
That'll be a very good one.
That'll be a good one. I mean, Alcoa, a top-tier program. Ravenwood's a top-tier program. Page at Giles County is always a good one. McGavick at Hillsboro. I'm trying to find, let's see, the new Hillwood. That Hillwood has moved to, it's changed names, it's moved to Bellevue. Independence is who's playing Oakland tonight. That should be a good one.
Cool high school story about Hillwood. That was the first ever touchdown I had as a varsity member.
Really?
I did, yeah.
Very nice.
I came in, we were using the wing tee, and they fed me the ball 11 times on one drive and 11 yards. I think it was like 11 carries, 69 yards for a touchdown. So, yeah.
Very nice. James Lott, here we go. As they start their new era tonight. Just looking at, there's a ton of games. So looking at Smyrna at Riverdale, there's an old Rutherford County rivalry that'll be a good one. We are not doing the game blitz this year. I know several have asked about that, but high school football continues to be very important to us here at 102.5 The Game. Prep football weekly can be heard on 94.9 The Fan every Monday at 5. So you can check that out, and obviously we'll have a bit of flavor on this show. Is there a game that stands out to you, Nick, that is just that's the one?
Just the history between John Overton High School and Father Ryan. I remember as a kid going to Greer Stadium as like a 4 or 5 year old, watching that game being played in the right field at Greer Stadium. So it's just the history of that to me. That's kind of what rings to my bell, but. I don't know. Alcoa has been a phenomenal high school football perennial team.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of my former football, he transferred midway through the season. But, one of my teammates went to Alcoa his freshman year, and they ended up winning like 4 years in a row. So Alcoa is one of those teams that sticks out to me to watch.
Okay. I like that. The game of the night to me, is the one we were talking to Chris Sanders about, Pearl Cone at NBA. I've loved that series, and they've traded punches back and forth with that. I think it's great to have a top-tier private school program go up against a top-tier metro program, and so I really am looking forward to that one tonight. And again, you can shout out to our friends at Fox 17, Jill Jelnick, Football Frenzy Live tonight. You can see that at 9:30 as she'll go all around the mid-state. Big Joe Dubin going to be a part of that this year too, so he'll be at a couple of games tonight. So they'll take you around the mid-state, and that's your source for high school football.
Another one to add, CPA versus Brentwood Academy.
Yeah, that's
two
tomorrow.
Quarterbacks going at it. Yeah,
that's
that'll be tomorrow.
That's going to be really good. So I think it's going to be an awesome opening weekend of high school football in the mid-state, and hard to believe that next weekend we're talking about high school football and Vanderbilt opening their season.
It's just crazy how football is starting just right on the corner. It's all here. But, as for high school football players, I remember my freshman year all the way to my senior year, there's just something in the air about a home opener. You hear the fans, you hear the student section. Our student section was called the Jungle at the time, but you just hear them play that theme music, and you run through the cheerleaders, whatever. They do a little tunnel or whatever it is. Man, there's something about the first kickoff, the crack of the pads. Man, I will say I do miss hitting the crack of the pads.
Oh, I know you do. I forgot to mention, so there was a game last night. Mount Juliet beat Cane Ridge 31-28. I know that was a good game. Max did that game for my TV 30, so and he'll be on again tonight. So going to be an awesome weekend of high school football. It's going to be an awesome weekend of football or soccer here in Nashville as Nashville SC fights for the League's Cup as they'll face Miami and Lionel Messi. We will discuss that next. How you feeling, Nashville? Is everybody in? We'll discuss 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida, fun in the sun goes way beyond the white sand beaches. Let's rock out at a waterfront concert at the Sound. Let's marvel at masterpieces of the Chihuly collection and make some flippered friends at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. Let's pedal the 75-mile Pinellas Trail and stop at Florida's oldest microbrewery along the way. This fall, let's go for all the sun and none of the crowds. Let's shine. Plan your getaway at visitstpclearwater.com.
Hendersonville has a newly renovated Dunkin' store, and the Game invites you to join us this coming Monday morning for their grand reopening at 209 Indian Lake Boulevard in Hendersonville. We will be there with great giveaways and free stuff. That's Monday morning at the newly remodeled Dunkin' in Hendersonville.
All of us at 102.5 and 106.3 The Game want to recognize our active military, veterans, first responders, and educators with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets singing, yeah.
1025 and 1063 The Game. Now, your Game Center update.
This is Nick Frazier with your Game Center update. The Nashville Sounds do it again. Trailing 7 of the 9 innings in the bottom of the 8th, Rowdy Tellez had a game-tying double. Then the next at-bat, Keeston Hira broke the deadlock.
And Hira hits a high fly ball, deep left center. Hazley back. He looks up. That ball is gone. Keston Hira again. 2 home runs last night. Now a go-ahead 2-run blast in the bottom of the 8th inning tonight. He's got 20 on the year. Neck and neck with Patrick Dorian. And the Sounds have taken a 5-3 lead.
The Knights scored 1 run in the top of the 9th, but it wasn't enough. Sounds won by a score of 5-4. The Nashville Sounds are back in action tonight, and you can listen to them on 94.9 The Fan. You're listening to 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
For more, follow us on Twitter at 1025 The Game or visit thegamenashville.com. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Ross Chastain will be first to finish in the Ally 500 at Nashville Super Speedway.
Nashville's exclusive home for NASCAR. 1025 and 1063.
Checkered flag is in the air. Man, this is a win in the cup race.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
Nashville. The suit is in the building.
Acknowledge me.
Are you ready? Ready? This is Chase McCabe on Nashville's best sports talk. 1025 and 1063 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hour number 2, Chase McCabe, 1025, 1063 The Game. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday so far. Chase McCabe, Nick Frazier with you. I'll actually be hanging out with Willy D coming up from 11 to 2, so looking forward to that. As we get into Nashville SC, as they host Miami tomorrow, which means Lionel Messi, going to be fantastic. What is the latest on the ticket prices?
So last night I was on SeatGeek. I just was playing for fun, wanted to see what the most expensive ticket was. So it came down $3,000. The most expensive ticket is $20,000.
Good Lord.
But the cheapest ticket I found on Ticketmaster was $460. So it's reasonable.
Okay, so let me poll the audience. So for me, and I will, full disclosure here, when the Braves were in the World Series, I got hooked up for one game, which was unexpected, but I did. And then I decided for Game 5 when I thought they could clinch this baby in 5 games at home, I'm going to go. I paid about $875 for a pretty good ticket. And, where I was like, you know what? I got it I bought it at the box office, so I got it at face value. So $875, that's what I paid. I was willing to go to $1,000 to see my team in the World Series with a potential clincher. So this is a new tournament, a league. I mean, it's a championship, but it's not like the championship, I guess, is the proper way to put it. But it's a championship. It's important. And it's the best player in his sport, maybe the best athlete in the world. So you said cheapest was the get-in price was
$460.
$460?
Mm-hmm.
Would you pay that?
I absolutely would.
You would?
I think so. I mean, I'm a big football fan, soccer fan, and baseball fan. You know that. But
sure,
to have the point of Lionel Messi coming to Nashville, and I said this yesterday on the midday show, it's going to happen every time he comes to Nashville. I wouldn't say a $1,400, $1,500, but it's kind of like, your Cowboys.
Oh, I think it might.
You think so?
Look, because this is what's going to happen. Every time, he's going to be here. And does Miami play here again this year?
So I believe it's in Miami. It's a league game, an MLS league game, but it might because they already played here. They already played here.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I mean, like next year, for instance, they'll play here.
Yes.
But you're going to ask yourself, okay, well, how much longer is he going to play? Like because you're gonna have that thought of this might be his last game or last time here. So like Wayne Gretzky only played in Nashville one time. And that was with his last year with the Rangers. So which I think that might have been the inaugural season. I think that was it.
Yeah.
So he played here one time, and so I know that people were probably thinking, like, hey, I need to go to that game because it's Wayne Gretzky. Jordan played baseball at Greer Stadium a couple of times, but it didn't have the same feel as a Lionel Messi, obviously. So I think the ticket thing is going to continue to be, like, every time he comes here, they're going to be through the roof.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it'd be $1,000 to $1,200. I'd say it'd be more in the $600 to $700, kind of the $460
Sure.
what we saw earlier. I feel like that's what it's going to be at, because regular ticket prices are around like $50-$60 on like the sides behind the goals. Now on the sides, like sidelines, it's around $100, $115.
So I want to know from you, 615-737-1025, Lionel Messi. We know who Lionel Messi is, what he means to the game, playing at Geodis Park. Are you willing to pay upwards of $1,000 to go see him play, to say that you saw Lionel Messi play? For me, the answer is no. And I would love to go. I'm going to watch the game. We're going to have the 2 TVs set up tomorrow, Titans and NSC. I will definitely be paying attention and supporting Nashville SC. I want Nashville SC to win. But for me, on the pecking order of things, sports and stuff I care about, I would pay $1,000 to go see the Braves in the World Series. I would pay $1,000 to go see the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl or the Titans in the Super Bowl, and I know I'd be paying more than $1,000. But you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I would cough up the money for that, because those are my teams and what I care about. I care about Nashville SC, so I'm not going to do that, even though Messi is the best, to play the sport. So I certainly respect and understand what he means, but I wouldn't personally do it.
You made a good point about him playing in Nashville. Could this be the last time? Well, it obviously wouldn't be his last time, but it would be the last time seeing him in this type of position on the field. Personally, I do think Messi will obviously play about 4 more years. I think he'll play till he's 40. That's my guess.
But do you think he'll play MLS until he's 40?
Yes.
Or do you think another league will?
No, I do
bring
believe
a dump truck full of money.
I mean, there might be somewhere way out in the Mideast, maybe. I mean, I don't know, but
I want to see him in Bundesliga. Come on.
His prime might be past the Bundesliga. But
I know, I'm kidding.
I will say the way he plays as this 10. He could also play in like a false 9 to where he drops back into the midfield. He kind of does that now. It's more of a free roaming role. But if people have watched him play against Philadelphia Union last week, he dropped into almost a deeper part of the midfield. I could easily see Messi dropping in as a midfielder as years progress on, and so where he didn't have to run as much. So he would be playing more at the top of the box if they were to go more attacking, and you'd have left and right backs kind of playing more as forwards and wingers, that is, and dish the ball at the top of the box for him to score.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know what the hell any of that means, but
sorry,
that's okay.
A little passionate there.
Texter says, nope, not going to pay a week's wage to go to a game. Ticket prices greed at its best. It's not even the best league. Way overpriced. That's one texter. Another one. Is this Chris Sanders? Lionel Richie greater than Lionel Messi. That's pretty good. Robert says, no idea who he is, and no, I would not. How do you not know who? Even
Robert?
Come on, Robert. You got to know who Leo is. I thought I was a sports fan until this game. I feel bad I don't know who Messi is until this game. Wes in Clarksville. People really don't. I mean, like, I'm not even Mr. Soccer, and I know who Lionel Messi is.
Also, I think another reason why the ticket prices are going up, there are some big-name celebrities, I believe, that are going to be at this game. One of them is a minority owner, maybe. He is a minority owner, but kind of teased at it on Twitter. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh,
he teased about it on Twitter, so I don't know if he'll be there or not.
We know Derrick Henry will not be there. He's busy.
He is busy. He is actually working, doing his job.
Well, I don't think he's going to be playing, but I think he'll be there. I wonder if Forsberg. I bet Forsberg's there.
Yeah, I think he has season tickets.
Seamus will be. We know Seamus will be there. Yeah. I bet Seamus is glad it's tomorrow and not tonight.
Yeah.
Because he'd be working tonight. Texter says, I gave myself a year to fall in love with soccer, and I still think it's boring. There's not enough scoring and not enough action. I think a lot of people still feel that way.
The scoring is coming tomorrow, I do believe. This is about to be a score fest.
So if I were a betting man, which I am, I feel like a Mukhtar and Messi goal parlay is just a lock.
Messi, potentially, yeah. I'm leaning more towards Hani Mukhtar assist.
Ooh.
This is the type of game where, yes, you want your big-time players to make big-time plays in a game like this, but Sam Surge, the way he lines up against – this is my little tease for the midday show. I told the people that listen to the midday show I'd give a breakdown of the game. So this is my tease to it. Inter Miami, they are very high attacking, high press early on in the game. They start with the same 11 every single game they've played so far in this tournament. Their defensive line plays a little bit more towards the midfield, and Sam Surge comes on the last game at halftime. Fresh legs. This guy's really good with ball to feet. Easily could get behind the back line. So that's my prediction. Sam Surge assists from Hani Mukhtar.
Okay. I like that. There you go. So make your bets accordingly. And we'll have best bets to end the show that includes Nashville SC. A lot of you weighing in on this, and I'll ask this question because I felt like, and some of you are proving me wrong, that Lionel Messi was in the category of athletes that you may not know anything about their sport, but you know who they are. And I think I probably have a list of 5 athletes that you say their name and you know who they are. I want to discuss that coming up next. Plus, what this game means for Gary Smith, because I think this is an important one for Gary Smith moving forward with Nashville SC. We'll discuss that next. Chase McKay, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Ins and outs of the Titans and isn't afraid to give his opinion.
Traylon Burks needs a massive offseason.
He's Jonathan Hutton of Outkick.
I don't see how they make a move without going to Ryan Tannehill.
Catch him every Monday at 10:30 on Chase McCabe and every Wednesday at noon on Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase. Hutton is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
All right, Superbook Sports, that is your spot for sports betting. If it's soccer tomorrow and football season being right around the corner, they got you covered because it's time to get those preseason bets in with Superbook. They are the most trusted name in Vegas, and right now when you use the promo code CHASE, CHASE, that's my name, you can score up to $250 with their first bet bonus. Win or lose, they'll match your first bet up to $250 simply by using my name, Chase, in the promo code slot. Will Tennessee win the division this year? Who's your pick for MVP, and which team will win it all in February? Don't sit on the sidelines. Win money this season with Superbook. Simply download the Superbook Tennessee app or visit superbook.com to place your wager today. Football, a $250 first bet bonus and the Chase promo code. It's going to make you do your touchdown dance all season long with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
Stop by Lincoln Tech's NADC Saturday, August 19th for their summer open house, anytime between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., and discover a world of opportunity for you and your future career plans. Meet with admissions, get info about career fields that interest you, take a tour of the campus, and learn about scholarships to help finance your education. Don't miss the open house at Lincoln Tech's NADC, Saturday, August 19th. Visit lincolntech.edu for additional info. That's lincolntech.edu.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormonal deficiencies and imbalances. And Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve your quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit our website at coolspringsmd.com.
Genesis Diamond's most extreme value on diamonds is coming to an end. You have until Sunday at 5 p.m. to get the price of a lifetime on a certified GIA diamond ring.
Response has been incredible. People have driven for hours to buy like a dealer buys. All GIA certified diamond rings are on sale. A full 20% discount off Genesis' amazing everyday value price.
We're talking values you never thought possible. From a half carat to 20 carat diamonds, all hand-picked for maximum brilliance and all graded by the most prestigious largest gem lab in the world.
Don't be surprised to see jewelry store owners and diamond dealers shopping alongside you.
Genesis has the largest GIA diamond selection you've ever seen. Rounds, ovals, radiance, cushion cuts, pear shapes, emerald cuts, princess cuts.
And now through Sunday, you can take advantage of this rare buying opportunity. Limit one per customer, please.
Get the Genesis no middleman direct importer price minus an extra 20% on all GIA diamond engagement rings. Now through Sunday only at Genesis Diamonds.
Green Hills and Cool Springs.
See store for details.
We're losing too many of our friends, neighbors, and loved ones to fentanyl poisoning. Nearly 75% of overdose deaths in Nashville involve fentanyl, but you can save a life with training and naloxone. STARS, Nashville's regional overdose prevention specialists, are here to teach you how to recognize and respond to an overdose and how you can save a life. Call 615-393-6980 or visit starsnashville.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
94.9 The Fan is your home for Hit City.
Tonight, your Nashville Sounds continue their 6-game series at First Horizon Park against Charlotte. He gloves, grabs, guns, gets them, and the Sounds win again. Pre-game at 6:20.
Nashville Sounds baseball on 94.9 The Fan and the Fan app.
The suit is in the building.
3-hour lunch, 3-hour lunch, 3-hour lunch.
3 hours. Chase McCabe on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Yeah, man, I think there are a lot of people who watched Gary Smith back when he was with Colorado in 2010 and initially with Nashville in 2020 who saw probably what was a defensive team and haven't really watched much of Nashville since and just kind of have stuck with it. I think that's a pretty outdated narrative. He actually, after the Monterey win, he talked about this. He made the point that there's a difference between a defensive team and a well-organized team, and I think that's true. Nashville are obviously very good defensively, but that's not all they are. I mean, you have Hani Mokhtar, who's probably the best attacker in the league. They have taken a lot of risks in possession this tournament. They've gone toe-to-toe with Club America and Monterey, who are legitimately two of the biggest teams in the continent, and not just held their own, but, I mean, they looked better for large stretches of those. So it wasn't just Nashville sitting back and putting 11 players behind the ball and just kind of hoping they can squeak out a 0-0 draw. They've played. And so I think, that the defensive-only team narrative is just pretty outdated, and I think they're a lot more than that.
That was Ben Wright earlier today talking Nashville SC. And, hey, speaking of Nashville SC, well done, Nick. Come hang out at Hard Rock Cafe in Nashville to watch the Leagues Cup final tomorrow night as the boys in gold take on Lionel Messi and Inter Miami at 8 o'clock. Stop by for your chance to win some concert tickets from 102.5 The Game and awesome prizes from Hard Rock, like Hard Rock gift cards, merch, and co-branded Lionel Messi and Hard Rock merch. Guests who show their tickets to the game or show up in their Messi gear get 15% off food, beverage, and Hard Rock and Messi merch. This offer does not include alcohol, and this promotion is valid today through Sunday, August 20th. So check that out at Hard Rock Cafe. I think this whole Leagues Cup tournament, Nick, has been really important for Gary Smith because the team I think started off hot and then they kind of cooled off. I feel like soccer is one of those sports like hockey or, baseball that if things start cooling off, then you look at the guy calling the shots and the coach. And, he's been the only coach that this team has known, even going back to USL. And I feel like that he has done a great job with Mike Jacobs building this into a perennial playoff program and now potentially a championship winning program. But tomorrow, I think it's important for him because of what it means for CONCACAF and also what it means for momentum the rest of the season in MLS.
Yeah, no, it means a lot for sure. And especially, after this whole Leagues Cup is over with, it now sets a new precedent of, is the Leagues Cup now the new tournament to keep your eyes on?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's going to come down to with Nashville SC because, there's the U.S. Open Cup. Not a lot of emphasis has really been put on that. The fan base hasn't really come out for those. But as for Nashville SC with Gary Smith and this, people say is defensive. Well, you got to build out of the back. And I think Mike Jacobs attests to him. He's mentioned on your show before about the Moneyball tactic.
Yeah.
About finding the right, players for certain qualities. And I think Nashville SC has kind of found the right puzzle to put together with all those qualities matching up and to potentially win the city's its first professional championship. Would you say that correctly? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be. I mean, you obviously had the Predators winning the Western Conference.
Right.
The President's Trophy. I mean, the Titans have won the AFC. But, talking about championships, that they could be the first. Sounds won the PCL. I'm just trying to think through all of them, but this would be a big deal for sure. Leagues, the Leagues Cup, and then whatever they do in MLS would certainly be a big deal. But back to the Messi conversation, because the text line, people saying that they don't know who he is. A texter says, I'm not a huge soccer follower. I like to watch games, but I had never heard of Messi. Hard to believe that people see him on the same level or is even higher than Michael Jordan. I think it's because he's so global. And Jordan was too, but Jordan was also during a different era where you didn't have social media and all that. But even in that era, I think if you went to Europe, you would know who Michael Jordan is.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's in The Last Dance. Talking about
and
that.
At PSG, they have a Michael Jordan-inspired kit. It's an Air Jordan all-black kit. It's in the French league.
Yeah. So, I put Messi in that category. Off the top of my head, just global athletes that I feel like everybody should know. Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is probably another one. Messi, Lionel Messi, LeBron James would be one. Ronaldo would be one. Before that, would you put Beckham? Would David Beckham have been in that?
Yeah, I would. If I had to go a soccer tier, it would go Messi.
Or is he more soccer?
Ronaldo, and then probably Ibrahimovic, and then David Beckham.
Pele?
Yeah, Pele's up there for sure. Yeah, I mean he broke the barrier for soccer in many of ways. And so,
Pele was on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Think about that. I love The Simpsons and all, I'm being dead serious. Pele was on The Simpsons back in the early 90s. That was a big deal when he made an appearance on The Simpsons. It was referenced on The Simpsons.
Whenever a sports icon or some sort of sports celebrity makes it on a TV show or goes through that wall of just the next level of just advertisement to some degree, it definitely speaks volumes. And so I think with Messi having this Apple TV deal, doing documentaries and stuff like that, it kind of breaks into, like you're saying with Pele with The Simpsons and stuff like that. So it's a crazy list to kind of really grasp on because there's so many big names out there. I don't know. If I had to put number one on the list, it would probably either be Pele, Maradona, Messi. It's 1A, B, and C.
What about Shaq?
Shaq is probably in the top 10.
Somebody said Shaq. I think Shaq is globally known. I'm just talking about if you don't know Jack about a certain sport and somebody says Shaq or Shaquille O'Neal,
don't know.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
I would say the answer is yes. They would know who he is.
Top 10.
One texter said Dale. I would say Dale Sr. over Dale Jr. Maybe both of them, but Dale Jr. he's not. I mean, Dale Sr. was just a NASCAR driver. Dale Jr. has become a superstar, and now a lot of that has to do with that he's Dale Jr. But I think Dale Jr. is known more than just in the NASCAR circle and racing circle. He's known globally because he's done Kentucky Derby stuff. He's got a media company now. So I would say it's Junior over Senior. Got a vote for Mbappe.
Yeah, Mbappe's up there. He's made a few appearances here in America.
Everyone knows Jordan is a brand, but they did not necessarily see him play. Billions saw Messi in the World Cup. I mean, there's a lot of people that remember the Dream Team.
That's a generational thing, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, even if you I was a kid, but I watched and remember the Dream Team. And for you, that's turning 25 tomorrow. Happy birthday!
Thank you, sir.
You are familiar with the '92 Olympic team because you've seen it in documentaries and So, yeah, you may not have seen him play, but Jordan's on the same level.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't say that Jordan is not on the same level. Matthew in Nashville, Michael Phelps and John Cena. I think both of those are interesting. I mean, Phelps for sure from the Olympics, but John Cena has become a global, superstar from wrestling and now acting.
Yeah,
you can put The Rock in there, Hulk Hogan.
The Rock, yes.
The Rock is definitely one. And he played football. Wes in Clarksville, the Williams sisters. I would say Serena over Venus.
Yeah.
I mean, you may know Venus because they're the sisters, but I would say Serena definitely. I definitely put Serena in that.
Yeah, I mean, what she did in the singles competitions for tennis itself. Now, when they played doubles, obviously she was with her sister, and they capitalized on that as well. But just Serena did a lot more. I wouldn't say for herself, but for her brand in the singles competitions at Wimbledon and so forth within the tennis community. Text
line is blowing up right now, 615-737-1025. Craig says Derek Jeter. That's a good one. Adam, King Griffey Jr. Yes, for sure. Another texter says, no way Dale Jr. is on that list. You're wrong. You're just simply wrong. And that is the anti-NASCAR view, I'm sure. But you're wrong. I bet I could walk out on Broadway and ask 10 people, do you know who Dale Earnhardt Jr. is? And I would say 9 would say yes.
I honestly, 10 out of 10. Like, I'm not, me, Chase. I'm not the biggest NASCAR guy, but I follow it from time to time. I even know who Dale Jr. is. And Dale Sr.
Yeah. Trey, Tom Brady when he was on Family Guy. I mean, Brady's definitely one. So another vote for the Williams. Oh, Greg A with a good one. Roger Federer. That's a good one. See, now I like the ones that are not mainstream sports that you're throwing out there. Raymond says Tom Brady. Another texter. Ooh. I don't know. I don't know if this one is up there anymore, but he might have been. Usain Bolt. He was in a SportsCenter commercial.
He was. 2 of them, I believe.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And was he in a Kellogg cereal commercial as well?
He might have been.
Might have been.
Ron says you can go to a small country or island around the world and still live primitive with no TV and internet, and they would know. He says Michael Jackson. I think he might have met. You would know Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I think that was a conversation yesterday they had on Jared versus Joe.
And Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were saying Michael Jackson versus Michael Jordan. I think they were saying, like, Michael Jackson be more known.
Matt says one word, Tiger. Yep. I mean, and you know him as Tiger. I mean, one word, What about Mr. T? Maybe in the 80s. Agree on the generational thing because I remember Wilt Chamberlain. Today's kids won't. But they know the name. Like, I feel like they know who he is.
Mike Tyson?
Tyson could be good. Ooh, Ichiro Suzuki? Potentially. Joey Chestnut. That's a good one. Man, these are just flying in. Keep these coming. We got to get to Gentry Estes. But, walk out on Broadway and ask the question about an American. I thought this was a discussion about global superstardom. Go to Europe and ask who knows Earnhardt Jr. and still getting 9 out of 10. Probably not. I'm still gonna disagree.
F1 people know a good bit about NASCAR. And I have relatives overseas.
Dale Jr., I'm telling you, Dale Jr. is known globally. So Wayne Gretzky gets a vote. Lance Armstrong, that's a good one. Conor McGregor. Matthew in Nashville, Andre the Giant, R.I.P. Kyle for Conor McGregor, that's a good one. Kobe, Tommy says Kobe. Yep, 100% agree. So very good. Keep these coming. We'll get back to these after Gentry Estes. We'll ask him too. He is going to join us. He's been in Minnesota covering Titans practice. He'll be back for the Nashville SC game tomorrow. We talk to him next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
They combine hard-hitting journalism.
The Titans asked Kevin Byard to take a pay cut.
Strong-willed opinions.
There's hot takes and then there's like weird takes. Yeah. This is a weird take.
And sometimes some old man takes.
I'm excited about it. So do I gyrate embarrassingly?
To create the perfect morning show, they are Robbie and Rex Road. Mornings from 6 to 9. Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Calling all Nashville Sounds baseball fans. You know the 312 Pizza Company in Germantown is the best place to be before or after a Sounds game, but this season, it gets even better. Stop by 312 Pizza Company before or after any Nashville Sounds home game with your day of ticket and get a free old-style beer. That's right, you get a free old-style beer from 312 Pizza just for watching Sounds baseball. Only redeemable with purchase. See you at 312 Pizza Company all baseball season long. 312 Pizza Company, a proud sponsor of your Nashville Sounds.
Whatever your destination in life, you can get there easier with a checking account from F&M Bank. At F&M Bank, their checking accounts give you the tools you need to manage your money well, like the smart, free checking account that's actually free. Because banking shouldn't be hard, and sometimes the basics are more than enough. Making lives better by making banking easier. Go see them at one of their 20 locations across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, or online at myfmbank.com. F&M Bank, banking made easy on purpose. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jared. Want to tell you about Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Hiller is keeping you chilling all summer with special deals to keep you relaxed and happy this summer. Tackle those necessary home system replacements this month to take advantage of these special deals. When you purchase a select new HVAC system, you'll get 2 Yeti Trailhead camping chairs, a Yeti Panga 28L waterproof backpack, a Yeti Tundra 75, and 2 Yeti tumblers for free. And get special freebies on Yeti products with every new whole home generator or tankless water heater purchase. That's Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Hang on. It's going to be a wild ride. The PBR team's champions, the Nashville Stampede, are coming home in a run to defend their title.
Yo, we coming.
Stampede Days, August 18th through 20th at Bridgestone Arena. Heart-pounding action you don't want to miss. Tickets start at $20. Get yours today at PBR.com or Ticketmaster.com.
Yo, we coming.
Join us for the ride.
Hey, did you tune in late? It's okay. It happens. You can subscribe to the Chase McCabe podcast wherever you get your podcasts. iTunes, Spotify, doesn't matter. Rate, subscribe, and review today.
Chase McCabe on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. I'll be co-hosting with Willy today. Hey, Pro Golf is coming to Nashville September 14th through the 17th with the Simmons Bank Open at the Grove. Text in the keyword bogey, B-O-G-E-Y, now to 615-737-1025 and enter to win a weekend pass for 4 to enjoy the event in style, including food and drink. We say hello now to Gentry Estes of the Tennessean. He has been the world traveler. He's been in Minnesota covering the Titans and Vikings joint practices. And now, Gentry, I believe you're headed back to the Music City, correct?
I am. If you would have told me that I would be up here writing about Nashville SC and soccer during Titans training camp, I probably wouldn't believe that. But it is what it is right now. I'll be back. I'll be at Geodis tomorrow night.
Yeah, and so we're kind of having this conversation, and our text line is blown up because some people said they didn't know who Lionel Messi was, and that was surprising to me because I put Lionel Messi in the category of just a global superstar that even if you don't know much about their sport, you know who they are. So do you agree with that, and where would you put him on that list?
Well, I would say you always hear these European soccer stars who have come over late in their career. One of the reasons they like to do that is because they're able to basically live normal lives here. They can go to the grocery store and people don't recognize them and make a big deal out of it. We've already seen with Lionel Messi, he still can't do that, even here. Before his first game in Miami, he was spotted at a Publix down there. And there were videos and photos, and I don't remember that ever happening before for a soccer star in this country. So to me, that kind of answers the question. I think even here, he would struggle to be able to go out in public and not be a celebrity. I mean, really, you're talking about the most famous athlete in the world.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think he's definitely one of the most famous athletes in the world. So what do you think this means for the growth of Nashville SC hosting a Leagues Cup final tomorrow, whether it's against Messi or not, but the fact that they've made it to that point?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. And I think for Nashville SC, it isn't just that they've never experienced anything like this. It's more that they may never experience anything quite like this again. This is special from a standpoint of not just having Lionel Messi in Nashville. It's the fact that this is a cup final. This is a chance for Nashville to win its first trophy in a pretty prestigious tournament, too. I mean, this was the Leagues Cup was created at mid-season. MLS thought so much of this that they paused the schedule for a month to play it. There were 47 teams, all the teams from MLS, all the teams from Liga MX in Mexico. And the fact that you started with 47 teams, group stage, this whole complicated tournament, and now there's 2 teams left and the final is going to be at Geodis Park. That's an awfully big deal for the club. And you throw in the aspect of Lionel Messi, and now it's off the charts. Now it's something that I think is going to resonate in the city, and is resonating in the city more than anything Nashville SC has done to this point, and may do to this point. I don't think that if they make the finals for an MLS Cup, the end of the season, into the playoffs, and they host it, I'm not sure it would be as big a deal if Lionel Messi wasn't on the other side.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Gentry Estes is with us from the Tennessean as he's doing double duty, been covering the Titans and now headed back for the Leagues Cup final tomorrow. So speaking of the Titans, Josh wants to know on our text line why you were standing behind Vrabel. He thought that was a funny interaction.
Because I walk over and the media, everyone's got phones out and they're taking video. Most of the beat writers do that. As someone who isn't a beat writer, I don't do that. So I tend to gravitate to the sides because I don't need to be in the middle shooting video the way TV and some of the beat reporters do. I actually explained that to Vrabel afterwards, and he laughed. But we don't have too many of those scrums with him. Usually when he talks to us, he's at a podium and we're in chairs, right, kind of in front of him. So that was a rare instance where we kind of gathered around him. But I'm asking the question, and he kind of side-eyed me and right in the middle of it. Jeffrey, get in front of me. Why are you behind me? I was more to the side of him, I'd say. But I guess I'll position myself better next time.
So they lose Traylon Burks for a few weeks. Vrabel called it best case scenario, that it's being reported as a sprained LCL and not anything worse than that. But what do you think that means for the wide receiver group moving forward and the potential of maybe one of these other guys being able to grab a roster spot?
Yeah, I mean, it's not good news, right? I mean, you're still missing a key player for a lot of training camp, and and it is a tricky injury in that there's a pretty wide range of possible return dates for that, depending on how severe it is. We don't know grade 1, grade 2, that kind of thing. So it's not good news, but certainly it is a sigh of relief to find out it wasn't something season-ending or more serious. That would have been pretty sad, honestly. Burks has been, to me, maybe the standout of the preseason if I had to pick one on the team. He's been phenomenal. He's had a great offseason. He's had a great preseason. Everything about him right now seems positioned to have a breakout year in his second year in the league. And, if he'd had that happen, especially on a touchdown too, it was on a deep pass in practice, and that would have been sad. In the meantime, I think that the first name that comes to mind is Nick Westbrook-Akine. He's kind of that just old reliable. for those receivers. You know, they've had all kinds of turnover, but it always seems like Nick Westbrook-Akine ends up kind of the top of the list when they need him. And he was yesterday. He stepped into what would, I think, have been the Traylon Burks role and made a couple of plays. NWI hasn't had the best training camp. He's had kind of an issue with some drops earlier. And, you know, maybe some talk that given what they have at receiver right now, and they've got a lot of good young receivers who have played well this preseason, kind of making a push, that maybe his spot would have been on the line a little bit. But I think now you say probably not on that.
Yeah, but I feel like Roberson's played better. I feel like that McMath, to me, is getting lost in the shuffle if he's not careful. I know he had a couple of big catches last week, but you know, I like Kyrus Jackson, how he has played. You look at the Colton Dowell's been okay, but I think he still needs to show a little bit more. Trayshawn Harrison. So I think they have a good problem right now with that receiver group.
The young guys really are playing well, and the guys you mentioned, to me at this point, I'd be surprised if Racey McMath makes the team. I know they like what he does on special teams, but you know, you got a situation there where it's like, if it hasn't happened yet, when's it going to happen?
Right.
He's had, you know, several years of opportunities now to kind of stand out in that receiving room, and you've just not really seen it. Now, there's still a couple of preseason games to go. It could change everything pretty quickly if he goes and has a wonderful game. But the young receivers really are – they're making a push, and you see it on the practice field in the number of reps and where they're being used in the units. And there are several of them, and guys who could help. And I think, you know, practice squad for sure for some of these guys, but it wouldn't shock me to see one of them sneak in there.
Will Levis leaves practice early yesterday. Vrabel said after that, you know, we'll see how he is Saturday. Could certainly be the Malik Willis show, but I'm a little concerned that if Malik Willis is the only quarterback available, you know, what happens if he does something and gets hurt?
It's a really good question, and it's one that kind of came up along.
Is Vrabel going to call Brady and say, hey, you want to come out of retirement for a game and back up Malik Willis? Like, what are they going to do?
Maybe there's somebody in that, you know, bottom part of the roster who's played quarterback before. I don't know. I don't think the Titans really want to try to find that out. But at the same time, I don't – you're not going to play Ryan Tannehill. So it wouldn't – if he's not available, and I don't really know the issue with Levis. That one was a curveball for all of us at the end of practice because he participated in pretty much the whole practice. And I guess he exited early there in the final few minutes. Whatever happened, I didn't see it. I don't know if there's something bothering him. And, you know, what we've already kind of found out about Levis, if he can go, I think he'll play in that game. This is an important part of the year for him, certainly, and I think he would hate to miss out on that. But if it ends up being Willis the whole game, I think that, you know, if Levis is unavailable, I think that's probably how it'll have to go.
You've watched this defense up against the Vikings offense. Do you feel like that they're as good as maybe advertised right now?
You know, this week, these two practices, it wasn't revealing to me as much as it just confirmed a lot of what we already thought from watching practices in Nashville. You know, the defense was very good, and they've been good. I struggle to think of one practice in Nashville in which I walked away from that saying the offense outplayed the defense today. It's been pretty one-sided, and I think, you know, you come away from that, gosh, is the defense that good or is the offense that bad? And I think the answer you get seeing them go against another team in Minnesota is maybe the defense is that good. They did pretty well against a good group, and you know, all the things, the hallmarks that you've seen already, the pass rush, physical play in the secondary, good coverage, just they look like an experienced seasoned group because they are. They had a lot of guys back and used to playing together, and I've seen nothing this preseason that would hurt my confidence in the defense. I'll tell you that. Offense, kind of the same way, though. You know, struggles in pass protection yesterday. There were a lot of quarterback scrambles and plays blown dead by sacks and that kind of stuff. And again, that's something we've been seeing a lot of in Nashville. You worry a little bit about the O-line, especially in pass protection. And, you know, Danielle Hunter and some of these guys in the Vikings really got a lot of – they caused a lot of damage yesterday. And I think the protection had trouble with them, much as they've had trouble with Arden Key and some of the guys on the Titans defense.
Well, Gentry, going to be interesting to kind of see how it all shakes out Saturday in Minnesota, but more importantly here in Nashville with Nashville SC fighting for the League's Cup championship. Appreciate it as always. Safe travels back, and try and get a nap in.
Yeah, you bet, Chase. Take care.
Absolutely. Gentry Estes joining us from the Tennessean as he talks football, two different kinds of football. We will break all that down, give you some best bets for the weekend. Here next, Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Here we go, in and out of the huddle.
Training camp is underway in the Music City.
We want to try to make sure that we're developing a team.
And we have you covered.
Could Peter Skoronsky be an option at tackle?
How quickly can DeAndre Hopkins get going? We'll be broadcasting live from training camp with the latest news and storylines from practice.
Ryan Tannehill in the last year of a contract. It's a different team. It's a different roster.
Training camp coverage is brought to you by the Simmons Bank Open, Caudill Vet Clinic, and Parman Energy on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
The Sounds take the field tonight at 6:35 against the Charlotte Knights. Kick your weekend off relaxing with Sounds Baseball. Gates open at 5:30, but stick around for the whole game to enjoy a post-game fireworks show. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willy Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Do reward. Just desserts. Special day. Payoff. Just because. Whatever your reasons, it's time to visit the spa.
Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Now offering outdoor yoga 9 a.m. every Saturday through September 2nd on the spa terrace. Book any treatment and get complimentary valet parking and access to the rooftop pool with incredible views of the Music City skyline. Mocara Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Inner Zen. Outer beauty.
Check, check. You might already know about the Acura MDX. V6 engine, seat 7. We have an announcement. We swapped that engine with a specially made 3-liter turbo V6, race-tuned the steering and suspension, and for the first time, added Type S performance to an SUV. So we're just gonna drop this right here. The Acura MDX and first ever MDX Type S. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Experience the thrill at Gary Force Acura, proud sponsor of the Nashville Predators. TennesseeAcura.com.
Hello, whoever it is going to be.
You want to weigh in on anything that we're talking about on today's show? Hit us up on our phone and text line at 615-737-1025, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Chase McCabe on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase McCabe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Your favorite game, Silly Underdog Picks, is back. Sign up today at thegamenashville.com or the 102.5 The Game app. Silly Underdog Picks is presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket. Hard to believe that it is here. And also, you can join us tomorrow or Sunday for MTSU Athletics Fan Day. Fans can come out to see the football, volleyball, and track and field teams as the fall season is weeks away. You can get autographs, enjoy live music along with inflatables, face painting, and balloon artists for the kids. The fun will be at Floyd Stadium from 3 to 5 this Sunday. You don't want to miss out on that. Wrapping things up today, I'll be sticking around with Willy D for the midday show, so looking forward to that. But on this show, and obviously a lot going on this weekend that you could potentially be wagering on. They do have the Vikings and the Titans are a 2.5-point favorite on the road. If you feel so inclined to bet on preseason football, that is on the Superbook Tennessee app. Titans win total still at 7.5, by the way, for the year. As for Nashville SC, I should probably have done this earlier, but
looked it up. It's plus 148 to win, like not win, but to lift the cup. So that's within whatever result. And regulation, it is just not looking good. It's like plus 220, I think.
So Miami's a pretty heavy favorite.
Yeah.
Is that because of Messi, you think?
Has to be.
Yeah, here we go. So Nashville plus 225, as you mentioned. A draw is plus 275. Inter Miami is even money on the Superbook Sports app. So you can check that out for sure. And obviously there's some bets for goal, Hani Mukhtar or Lionel Messi, depending on what book you look at for those. I think the best bet for this game, if I'm not picking a side, is I had this written down, is over 1.5 first half goals at plus 150.
I like that.
Like I feel like with the firepower that both teams have, that if there are 2 goals on the board before halftime, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Not at all. And like for the full game, 2.5 is minus 180. So if you parlay that with, Nashville SC to lift the cup or whatever else you like to your preference, that'll get you to plus money odds at a good favor.
Yeah. So you can do that, obviously. And then on the Superbook Sports app, there's a ton of baseball. But, it's crazy to believe that next week is week 0 in college football. Vanderbilt hosting Hawaii. I haven't even looked at the full schedule for next week, but, there's a handful of games. And then Labor Day weekend, it all gets going.
Inject it into my veins.
I'm
Jason
so
McCabe.
ready. I'm so ready. It's just, and obviously I love what I do and what we do here, but, talking about preseason stuff for as long as we do, and then finally when you get to the games, it's like, okay, we're there. We made it. So, and hopefully the Titans, they've had a couple of injuries happen the last few days, so hopefully they can dodge that and get out of Minnesota relatively healthy. I am curious if Levis is going to play. I really am. I think he needs to. He obviously needs the reps, but if he can't go, he can't go, and then that just leaves it open for Malik Willis. This was Mike Vrabel yesterday. He was asked if Will Levis can't go, could we see Ryan Tannehill?
If Will isn't able to go Saturday, is Ryan maybe going to get some work, or will it be Malik the whole way?
We'll let you guys know on Saturday.
Yeah, and there you go. Quick Mike Vrabel answer on that.
Is there a way we could put him in the sand pit of doom for saying that?
The where?
The sand pit of doom.
The where?
I think this.
The sand pit of doom.
We haven't used that in a while. That was good to do that. Yeah, I would say yes. Jeffrey Simmons might be back in the sand pit of doom. Because he's had a couple of moments, I guess. But plays with that tenacity. And if Vrabel, we didn't really talk about this much today. Vrabel kind of mentioned that of finding that line, but you want a guy to have the juice, and but also keep it under control, when it really counts in a game. So hopefully they'll be able to do that. But if Malik Willis plays the whole game tomorrow, I'm curious if they try and bring somebody in to be a backup, or like Gentry said, is there a guy on the roster that's played quarterback that can be the backup? Like, do you dress Kevin Byard as a backup? I would hope not, but
that would not be a good sign.
That might be where they have to go, or one of these receivers that's on the depth chart play quarterback or what have you. But I'm curious of that because it is a preseason game, so you don't want to see or is it hey, Levis is okay, if he needs to play he can, but maybe let's not play him a whole lot. It could be that. So we'll find out, sometime before the game tomorrow on what the case may be there. But the biggest thing for me is offensive line. I need to see the offensive line continue to develop. I want to see a little more Tajay Spears. I really liked what I saw out of him against Chicago. Let's see a little bit more there. And then the receivers. Who's going to step up and can be that, have an elevated role while Treylon Burks is injured? And if you need somebody for week 1 who can step in and take that. Is it NWI? Is it Reggie Roberson? Is it Racey McMath? I'm going to be watching the receiver battle because I think now, Mike Vrabel is going to want to evaluate those guys, and so you might see them throw the football a little bit more, just to get them those reps. So I'd be curious to that.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Titans, your deep threat Treylon Burks is not going to play the rest of the preseason, obviously.
No.
But you got to look at a guy like Kyle Phillips. That's who's been on my mind the last couple of days. You haven't heard anything from him about, is he doing well at camp or not? Like, if I'm the Titans, I would work on your short game in the passing game. Like Kyle Phillips, just pass it to him at least probably 5-6 times. I mean, that'd be a healthy amount of receptions, and then just dish it a little bit to Chig. Like, I would love to see them kind of just mix it up a little bit, but just be more in the intermediate passing game. Nothing downfield, nothing too fancy.
Yeah, and I think Phillips has had a nice camp. I've talked to a few people that have been impressed by him, but I agree. I mean, show us a little bit more, see what he can do. I don't expect him to play a whole lot, because now you're in like conservative mode because Burks got hurt, so you want to make sure that you get some work in, but you also don't overdo it with some of these guys, and I kind of feel like that's probably where they're at with a Kyle Phillips or somebody like that. But
you think this scares Vrabel a little bit because
I do. Yeah, I mean I think he's always been conservative when it comes to the preseason, maybe a little bit too much. But especially when a key guy gets hurt or it's a close call, like it was. I mean, look, it's not great. He still got hurt, but he's not out for the season hurt, and so I think that kind of is in the back of his mind. But it's part of the game. It comes with it. That will do it for us. I'm going to stick around with Willy Donick. Hope you stick around too, as Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase is coming up next. 102.5, 106.3, The Game.